Are the cruise lines using specialty dining to train us to spend more money on our cruise vacations? We'll talk about it in today's video. Hey, what's up everybody? Tony with Lido, Loca. Welcome to the YouTube channel. If you're brand new here and you love cruising, consider subscribing with the notification bell on, and that way you don't miss any of our content. So this is an interesting question that was posed a few weeks ago in our Tuesday night live show. The question was asked, is the cruise lines using specialty dining to train us to spend more money? I don't think I'd ever thought of it in that context. I think at the time, the way I answered the question is it's all about supply and demand, that businesses try things to see if they can up how much they get each person to spend. And sure, you throw out a specialty restaurant, and if they sell the thing out, if people buy it, then that's a good indicator that people want that. Therefore, it makes sense to put specialty dining on cruise ships because people are taking part in it. You give the consumer what they want. And look, I still hold to that answer. I do believe that because people will pay for it, the cruise lines will give it to us. But could it actually be a strategy to maybe train us to spend more money on a cruise ship? Now, we've talked about it before. The cruise lines use that base fare as the lowest price point possible to entice you to use their cruise line. So they're doing everything that they can to present the lowest base fare possible. So when they compete with the next cruise line, they can say, look, I've got the same cruise on just as nice a cruise ship, and ours is $100 less. The only problem with that is by driving the price down there, they have to make it up somewhere else. And maybe specialty dining is one of those places where they make it up. I remember when we went on our first cruise a couple years ago, I was determined not to spend any more money than was absolutely possible. And I think our very first cruise, our total was $42. That's what we paid on our Sell and Sign account. Now, we did have some onboard credit, which I'll speak about later, the effect of onboard credit on spending. But yeah, we got out of there without buying any upcharge dining. We bought very few drinks, and we bought a couple pictures. And so we didn't spend much money on our first cruise because in my mind, I was thinking, look, this is an all-inclusive experience. I don't need to spend any extra money. I can eat for free. I don't have to drink alcohol if I don't want. I don't have to buy anything that I don't want. And we got out of there fairly inexpensively. Fast forward to today, almost every cruise that we go on now, we do some sort of specialty dining, and we will spend money. Part of it is because of this YouTube channel. We want to spend the money so you don't necessarily have to, so that you can see some of the for-pay experiences and make that decision for yourself whether you want to do them. But that's not completely it. I've said this before, I believe that the very best food that you can get on the cruise ship is food that is made to order. And to get food that is made to order, most of the time, you have to pay for it in the form of a specialty dining restaurant. I'm happy to uppay a little bit just to get that higher quality food, but logically, it really doesn't make sense. I should eat the included food, but I do it anyways, and I don't know why I'm so happy about doing it, but it kind of defies logic. Why would I pay for food when there's food in an abundance that is included in that base cruise fare? Put the YouTube channel aside. If I just boil it down, it doesn't make sense, but somehow I don't feel bad about it. On the last cruise on the Carnival Breeze, we did the steakhouse experience for $38 each. We did the Cucina del Capitano Italian restaurant for $15 each, and we spent about $30 at Bonsai Sushi. So altogether, I spent about an extra $140 that I really didn't have to spend, but I was happy to do it. And before I go too much further, onboard credit. Almost every cruise that you book, you can get some sort of form of onboard credit. It's interesting, a lot of the times you can get the onboard credit back from your account, but the onboard credit always feels like monopoly money to me, and it's easy to make that decision to go to the specialty dining when I look in our account and we've got a couple $100 of onboard credit. So to answer the question, is cruise lines using specialty dining to train us to spend more money? I'm gonna say I think in a way, yes. And it goes beyond specialty restaurants any opportunity that they can upsell you beyond what you've already paid in your base fare is a way to say that, look, this is not an all-inclusive vacation. The next time that you come on a cruise, make sure you bring a little budget for pictures. Make sure you bring a little budget for specialty dining. And look, there might even be some things like a bowling alley that you might want to pay extra money for. I think if you know that, if that's kind of built into your experience, you will start to plan that extra money and you will accept the upsell of these cruise lines. I do think that that's an interesting strategy. I think it's one that's working, but I do know a lot of folks that have been cruising for a long time that will talk to you and say, look, it used to be more all-inclusive, more food options, more entertainment options that didn't cost anything, and now everything is coming with a price. I don't know if it signals the change in cruising, but I can tell you just from a couple years ago, now when I go cruising, not only do I think about the base fare, but I do think about extra money that I may spend on upsell items like specialty dining. I did do a little research about upsell psychology and how in trust relationships, it is easier for the person that you trust to extract more from you. So if you think about it, if you are a loyal cruiser, if you are loyal to a brand, or if you have confidence in one of the cruise lines and then they suggest to sell you something, there is a level of trust that is built into that, and you are more likely to spend your money based on that trust relationship. Businesses do take advantage of that, not in a nefarious bad way, but in a way that helps profitability and helps them generate money to do other things, to build new ships, those kind of things. So I do believe that that's going on there. And then another thing that comes to mind when I was talking about this, back in the day, I took an advertising and marketing class, and the teacher said the simple definition of advertising and marketing is being able to use a story to separate the consumer from their cash. So that is all at play here. I don't know if there's any great big takeaways, but really the whole thing is just to raise the awareness. Make sure when you go on these cruise ships that you know that there will be some prompts that try to get you to spend more money, specialty dining, souvenirs, pictures, drinks in plastic cups. There's a lot of things where the cruise lines will be enticing you to part with your hard-earned cash. But if you go in educated and you know that it's your vacation and you don't care, that's one thing. But if you're new to the deal, you might just want to be on the lookout that there is some upselling going on, and potentially the specialty restaurants may be a way that the cruise line is training us to spend more cash. Have you thought about this at all? Do you see specialty dining and other upsells as a way to train the consumer to spend more money? Or are you saying to yourself, why are we even thinking about this, Tony? It's just cruising. It's true, it's just a cruise life, but you know, it's kind of fun to kick these things around. If you like this kind of content, leave a thumbs up on the video, consider subscribing, follow us on all of our social media. My name's Tony, I'm with Lido Loca, and until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.